Alright YouTube, what is going on? It is Bigfoot500 here from the Tactical Zone today. Continue on with our squad deathmatch series today. We're playing on the map of Damavand Peak, and in this game what I do is I go 17-4 with the assault kit. I'm using the M416 again. I'll explain why in a moment, but overall this game I do not do the best, and overall, to be honest, I'm going to admit it right now, we do not have the best tactic for this map. Overall, I've played this map a lot. It comes up in the cycle. For instance, if you play a session, you play 1.5 hours, you get 6 maps, for example. This may come up more than once actually in that cycle. It seems to be a map that just pops up a lot. I think it's a map that people seem to like. Overall, I don't. It's probably because I don't play very well in it, but overall, this is the gameplay I've got for you. It's a 17-4 game. It was, I think me and a buddy, Sean, are in this, but bar that, it's just us two. And we hold out. I'm pretty sure we do win in the end, or just lose by 1. But I hope you enjoy watching this gameplay as I give you a breakdown of what we're using. Okay, so I'll start off with what we're using, and then I'll move on to sort of tactic, and then I'll run through the kits. So today, yet again, I'm using the M416. A lot of people say this gun is overpowered, and I would agree with you there. But to be honest, I'm going to really use it, and I realise that, I hate when people use the FAMAS, for example. People turn around and say the exact same thing. Well, it's there to be used. Well, so's the M416, so I'm going to use it. It should be fixed, yeah, okay, and so should the FAMAS, to be honest though. The FAMAS I feel is worse. You shouldn't be really given that gun for an assignment. It's just too cheap, and it should be changed. But anyway, the M416 red dot grip, and I'm not at all sure what I was using. I think I was using heavy barrel as my under attachment, but overall I do not bad. Really, to conclude from this game, you really kind of like, there's a sort of factory warehouse, I don't know what I'll call it in this video, but there's a central building, and basically what you want to do is you don't want to go in it because you're most likely going to die if you do go into it. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to rotate around it and basically like guard it, like war camp for example, or that's a bad one. Let's go for prison. Prison sounds much better. Guard it like a prison sort of thing, so no one gets in or out, and if you do, kill them. That's basically what you want to do on this map. Okay, so as I said, I was using the M416 assault kit with that med box, and I'll run through assault now. Really, you're really going to want to run that med box. There's a lot of situations, especially at the start here. I do apologise if I've sped this up, so it may be a good bit through now, but I tend to deal well on this one, so I've done the commentary and started editing it. Basically, really at the start, what I tend to do is I get in a few gunfights. I think I go for like 4-0 for example, and basically what happens is near enough in like 2 of those gunfights, 2 or 3, basically I am shooting the guy first, but he's actually getting a hit on me, and then basically what I am doing is putting a med box in. That's basically giving me like 5 seconds, and it's regenerating my health. For example, it goes down to 70, and I can move on to the next gunfight. Now, for example, if I wasn't going assault, I'd maybe go engineer. I wouldn't be able to do that straight away. I wouldn't be able to get back into the gun action, or if I did, for example, I've got more likely to get killed, you know? If I'm on 70%, that guy's on 100%, and we both start shooting at each other at the same time with evil guns, well, obviously who's going to win? The other person. So, I put myself at a disadvantage there, and that's why I kind of roll with assault. As I said, I've played this map many times. It does tend to come up a lot in the cycle, and I've not really got a good tactic, I've not got a good feel for this map, and overall, I don't enjoy this map. Probably because I don't do well, but to be honest, that's the honest truth. So I've tried a lot of things, do not get me wrong. I kind of use near enough every kit, even snipers on this map, and to be honest they're not that bad. But at the end of the day, you are getting into a lot of gunfights with people. It's very rare that basically you'll end up killing somebody without them shooting you at all, or at least tempting anyway, because these Christmas noobs. But at the end of the day, with that box, basically you can put it down after you've been wounded, and you can get back into the action so much quicker. 10 seconds, 40 seconds, major difference, obviously, for a gameplay, kind of slowing it down sort of thing. Now, moving on, basically from assault, I'd recommend assault just because accurate, powerful guns, that's what you want. You want to get the gunfight over as soon as possible on this map, move on to the next one. Because everyone goes to the centre building, everyone's coming in and dying. So literally there's a lot of people coming in. You may feel, oh, okay, I've got 10 seconds, I can reload my gun, all that. You can, but you really need to watch out because people are coming back in as soon as they die, and you just need to watch out and you contain the volume of people getting in and out of the prison, you know? Moving on now to engineer. Now engineer is one of those ones which, to be honest, you could use, and definitely I've used it before. I was doing really well on SMD, I was like 12-2, I had it recorded and then my internet cut out. So I was going to bring you clips from that, but I decided not to, just because overall this gameplay really it's better showing you a full gameplay than parts of gameplays. That's what I feel for this series. Just kind of continuing on from the other videos. I mean, if for instance they were clips, and I'd do clips for this one, but it's not. So SMGs anyway, I recommend going to something with like the SCAR or the G36C. You're really wanting it kind of like, if you're in a close quarter situation, which you are going to be in the warehouse, what you're going to want to do is execute the guy, kill the guy really quickly. So you're going to want a rapid fire gun. Now, for example, as I said, G36C does that. Overall, to be honest, you're right. You're probably going to be in it mainly medium gun range fights, some small. You do not want to be long on this map. That's why you want to get into the center buildings. It tends to be medium sort of shit, you know. So basically, you're not going to need too inaccurate gun. Be nice, but you just want a rapid fired, like a really fast paced gun, and you're going to want reasonably powerful gun. So you're not going to want any of this really like newbie shit that just is really slow in firing. For example, an LMG, which we'll come on to in a minute. You're going to want something that just kills the guy in a few seconds. Drop a med box, or if you can, or hopefully you've not, because if you're firing fast and you're getting the guy, you're not even getting hit, which to be honest happens once or twice in this game, but overall it doesn't happen a lot. That's good, and really you just want to kind of move on, and you're going to want to keep up the pace. This map is a really rushing map. You can't really sit in corners and get a good game, or get a lot of kills out of it. Because I mean, to be honest, you will get lit up easily if there's 16 people trying to get all in around this building. Moving on to support. Now, actually, back to engineer here. One thing, RPGs are great. For example, if you try to get to height in the building, then you can fire an RPG down with a explosive. That will kill them. Especially, people tend to like to camp around in squads in this one. We have squad deathmatch is about squad teamwork, but to be honest, I was here with one buddy, so kind of really didn't have that. But overall, people tend to try and get squads into this map, just because I think squads overall do better on this map instead of playing like solo. So you can possibly get double, triples, possibly even a quad, who knows, but definitely RPGs are a good thing about this map. Now finally moving on to support. Basically support is just not where you want to go. As I said, you want rapid fire guns. Now okay, LMGs are reasonably powerful, give them that, but they're not accurate, which to be honest, medium range. Also though, for instance, if you're coming around the corner and you're an LMG and the other guy's an SMG, the time it takes for somebody to fire an SMG, now this is not about reaction times for example, but the SMG will generally, if you both hit the trigger at the same time, SMG will fire quicker than the LMG. Once the LMG is up and going, for example, it will do amazing, but it's that getting up and going, that may be 0.5 seconds. That 0.5 seconds could save that guy maybe, I don't know, 20% health, and he could have you, and he could be on 20% health, but it's because your LMG is not getting up and going fast enough, you know. Obviously, if you are going to use LMGs, you're going to want probably a stronger connection. I mean, this sounds stupid, but you are going to want to. Overall support kit, it's not where you're going to want to go. Just because mortars on this map, it's the main building and 10 people tend to go in it. That's what I'm kind of suggesting not to, but overall not a lot of people use mortars on this map, so I just wouldn't go with it. Mortars are usually very good, but on this map, just because everyone's inside and really at cover, the only place you're really going to be able to bomb is the doors, and to be honest, usually if someone's rolling around outside, i.e. me, I'm going to be getting the kills before you, so I wouldn't go with it there. Finally, recon. Now recon is one of those kits where, to be honest, you may not think it does work, but to be honest, it really does. If you are going to snipe, basically what you want to do is get your portable radar. What you're going to want to do is like put it up against the building, but from the outside, so you parachute it onto the roof of the main building. And what you can do is there's windows up there, and you can snipe in the way, or what you can do is snipe people actually running into the building. For example, from the rooftop, if they're coming in from the tunnel side, basically just get them as they make their way into the building, which to be honest, near enough everyone does on this map. Now there's another way as well. You could snipe out in, so for instance if you went to the outside of the map, there's not really any high vantage points bar with the helicopter pad. Helicopter pad is probably one of the best areas. You want to go up that side sort of thing, not specifically the pad itself, but up that side and snipe down into the main building. It shouldn't be too hard. Bar that, really, shotguns kind of goes for the same for SMGs. Really you're going to want to be in close quarter situations. Get something like the USAS, and just beast it up. You know, obviously need to watch out if you are going to use the USAS shotgun. I'd recommend going with medic, just because obviously I would recommend putting frag on, but obviously frag can obviously hit you as well. And to be honest, for instance, if you're in a gunfight medium range, okay, you might possibly get them, say you do, on 20% health. That frag bounce back, if you don't know what frag is, by the way, it's basically many parts of a grenade bouncing out of your shotgun. They'll bounce back and they will take some damage off you, and that could be the difference between you living and dying. So obviously I'd recommend, yet again, with that med box, put it down so you can regenerate some health really quickly and get back on with your game. Okay, hope you have enjoyed this game. Make sure to subscribe. As always, make sure to check out our other videos on Squad Deathmatch. All the other maps will be upcoming soon. There will be a wee break, about 4 days until the next Squad Deathmatch episode comes out, just because we've got 1 or 2 things going on with other games right now. Hope you have enjoyed this series so far, guys, and as always, my name is Big500, and I will see you later. Bye.